Hello and welcome back to our series on how to make your own teaching website. This video will be dedicated to the free Google apps that are available to you and their usefulness in your teaching website and how to incorporate them and link to them and all of that. So Google has put out a lot of free tools that mirror probably a lot of tools you're already familiar with. Functions like Microsoft Word. Most people have heard of and use Microsoft Word to create text documents. Google has created Google Docs, which is a similar program, but it's not something you have to install on your computer. It's something that runs in a web browser and creates text-based documents for free. And Google has made Google Slides, which is a lot like Microsoft PowerPoint, which makes a slide presentation. However, it's free and it's online. And Sheets, it's exactly like Excel. So Google has a lot of free things out there that you could take advantage of in your teaching website and that your students can take advantage of absolutely for free. And we're going to show you how to use some of those. And it all starts with Google Drive. So in our previous video on how to embed photos and video, we talked about how Google Photos, photos.google.com, is a free service where you can store photos. Google Drive is a free service where you can store text documents. So I'm going to show you how that works. Here is Google Drive, and to get to it you have to be signed into your Gmail account like all the other Google things that we have done so far, and you just type drive.google.com to get to the main page here. And what I've got here are basically all the folders of all my stuff. This is all the things that I've created and put online or taken and stored here. So for instance, if we were to go down to my chemistry class, I have organized it by units, and I could go into my acids and bases unit, and you'll see a lot of text documents. Some of them were previous documents I had in Microsoft Word, like this used to be a Word document, and I just dragged it and put it into my Google Drive, and it's really easy to do. If you have this already stored on your computer, you drag it and hold it. Let me see if I can find an actual document here. Okay, so here's a document that I'm going to drag right into and let go, and boom, it uploaded it. Right there. So that is now stored on my Google Drive if I want. And if I want to get rid of it, I can right-click it and remove it just like that. Easy peasy. Okay? So drag and drop. Whatever file you want to store online, you just put it right there. You've got up to 15 gigs of storage. So with text-based documents, you're not going to burn through that very quickly. It takes you a while to fill up 15 gigs of text. And I recommend that you keep this to the text-based stuff, and you store your videos in something like YouTube where there's more space. Okay, but that's the idea. And I've got some of them are text like this. Now, you can convert these to Google Docs. So if you have a Word document, like this was a Word document, if you want to right-click and say Open with Google Docs, it will automatically create the same exact document, but in Google Docs. So this is Google's version of Microsoft Word. It has basically the same functionality. You can type, things into it if you want, and you can do all the other, center it, etc. You know how to use Microsoft Word. I'm not going to do a video on that, but that's the idea. Except that this is now stored online. This is not stored on your computer, so you're not taking up your hard drive space. You're taking up Google's hard drive space essentially. And there's a lot of useful things you can do with that. So let's say I have here, I want this acid-base homeostasis, these are notes essentially. I want them to be on my website. That's how I'm going to give notes that day. I'm going to say, go to the website, read this paragraph, take some notes, and then we'll go on to an activity. So here's how I do it. I'm going to go over here to the website, and let's do this in Drive. And I want to insert those notes here. So I'm going to edit this page. I'm going to go to Insert from my Drive. So this has got access to all the stuff on my Drive. It's a document. It's a text document. And I'm going to put in, oh, there it is, acid-base homeostasis, right there. I'm going to select that. I recommend that you leave the width blank here. because then it will just give it its natural width and you won't have to adjust anything. There it is. Save. And so now on my website, there are the notes. There are the notes about acid-base homeostasis. And those students can come right up here, read it, even click on it, and if they want to edit it, if you gave them permission, you could allow them to type in there as well. So this is very, very, very useful functionality. Okay, so acid-base homeostasis, if I don't like it, if I want to get rid of it, real quick, gone. Now there was another thing in there I had some PDFs, like this guy here. This was a worksheet that I used when we were learning acids and bases. Let's say I want to put that in my website. I don't have a functionality to embed it the way I just did that document. What I can do is go right up here. If I have it selected, right here there's a little button that says Get Link. I'm going to left click that. And there's the link. Okay, that link leads right to this page. So I'm going to copy that over with Command C. And I'm going to go back to this page. And I'm just going to make this link. I'll title it Worksheet for now. You can title it however you like. But we already learned how to make links in the previous video, so we know we go up here and click Link. And this is a web address. So I'm just going to paste that link right there. Click OK. Save. And now on my website, this link that I made goes right back here to the Google Docs, and specifically to this piece right here. So if I click it, it brings up the worksheet. This is incredibly useful. We've all had we've all have some structure in place when a student misses a class and says, "Hey, I missed class. What happened?" Well, now instead of having to go back and find that worksheet, I can just say, "Hey, remember that was on the day we did Google Drive? Check the Google Drive page. There's a worksheet there, and the student can go there themselves, click the link. If they want it home, they can print the worksheet out. But this now can be used and say, all right, check the website. That's what we did that day, and it makes it very easy for the students to find out what they've missed and to have access to it if they lost something. So this is now all online. All right, and that came right out of Google Drive. I just clicked the link for it. Now you want to be sure when you do this that these documents are able to be viewed by the student. And that goes back to sharing privileges, right? We talked about sharing privileges in the previous video. So you want to make sure that this has a shareable link and anyone with the link can view it. If you were to change this, if you were to say go into advanced or something, and you want to change that, you could make this all public so anybody has access to it, or you can turn it off. And if you turn off sharing, then nobody can view it. Okay? And that's, I don't recommend that with like worksheets or things. Okay, so I'll keep that the way it was. But I also have on here in my drive chemistry tests. And so when I make a copy of a test or something in Google Docs, I don't want all my students to have access to that, so I'll put it in here. And I've done that for the whole folder. So if I go to chemistry tests, share, no, there is no shareable link here. And I don't want to make it a shareable link because I don't want students to have any kind of access to the tests beforehand. Okay? So all of this stuff is private. So if we were to look up some of the assessments and things, I am the only one who has permission to see that. And that's, I recommend when you create your folders, you make sure if this is something like I've separated, I have my physics stuff here, that's the stuff that's shareable. Okay, you can get a link, people can see it, and then the physics tests is not. One specific example here is the physics textbook. We mentioned this in a previous video, but I have here PDF versions of all the chapters of the textbook. So if I want, I can go online and look at, for instance, chapter 11, which is all about energy. All right, that's a nice thing to have. But this is copyrighted material, and I can't just post this for free on the website. So what I've done is I have gone in, and the physics textbook folder is not public. People can't see that normally. All right, only I can. But I can go here, whoops, go here to the sharing privileges for that. And I can type in specific people who I do want to have access to that website. And I can put their email addresses in here and then add them. And so the students who are in that class do have access to the physics textbook, which they should. But people who haven't, people who are not in the class and who this is a copyrighted material should not be able to access it. I do not give permission to them, and so they can't see the physics textbook. So it's very important that you have your sharing privileges in order before you start linking to your website. And if you have a student come in and say, you know, I tried your website, I was trying to get the link to the homework that you posted, but I couldn't see it. It might have to do with your sharing privileges, especially if more than one student has that issue. And so you may have to go back and check the individual document and make sure that it's linked properly and that it's shared properly. Otherwise, you'll be posting a lot of things on your website, but the links won't work. They'll click on it and only you will see it and they won't. All right, so that's something important to deal with. Okay, so we've talked so far about Google Drive, Google Docs, which is a lot like Microsoft Word. You can also do Google Slides. So over here, if you want to make something new, okay, if you want to make a new Google Docs, go right here and click Google Docs. And this is now a blank text document. And you can type whatever you like. There it is. And you can title it whatever you like. And you can put it in whichever folder you want by clicking on the folder icon and clicking what folder you want it to go into, etc. And that's a brand new document. And as soon as you make it, like I just typed, it will now show up in your Google Drive. There is the document I just created. Now, obviously, I'm not going to keep this document. That's fine. So as soon as you make a new something, it exists. You can also do slides. This is the Google version of Microsoft PowerPoint. All right. Same thing. I can click in here, make a presentation, and if I title it, boom, it's titled presentation. And now when I look on my drive, there it is. It just showed up. It has the name presentation and everything. And I could put it in one of my other folders just by dragging it if I really wanted to. Obviously, this is just a test. So anytime you make something new here, it shows up in your drive, and that's where you'll find all of your text-based stuff is in your Google Drive. I recommend putting it all into folders so it's easier for you to find it because, as you can see, once you start getting a lot of stuff, it's going to be, if you don't have it organized in those folders, good luck finding it. Okay? Let's remove that. The slides work the same way. You can get links, you can share them, etc. Remove the slides. And you can make these Excel spreadsheets. They work, or not Excel, but Google Slides spreadsheets, which work exactly the same as the Microsoft Excel stuff. Okay? And if I created it, oh, it didn't save that because I didn't type anything into it. Good. So those are your options. There's more stuff on here. We're going to show you Google Forms in another video, and we'll show you some functionality you can use with Sheets. But this is the basic idea with Google Drive. Okay? Is that all the stuff that you create gets saved online automatically, and from there you can link it to your teaching website. So this is like the storage space for all the stuff you want to put on your teaching website in the same way that Google Photos, which by the way you can access from your Drive account. Remember this? We did that one in the photo tutorial. So it's all saved here. Okay?